Greetings to the New Testament Writings in Context class here at Lagrange College. This is your instructor, Dr. Larry Asplund, coming to you at the end of week 3. Now, you know this 5-week learning intensive is coming and going very, very rapidly, really too rapidly for a couple who got a late start, and I feel bad for them. You know, the class is going to come back round again in the fall, both live and online. But I so much appreciate the great work all of you are doing. What wonderful study and discussions and writings. It's been a wonderful learning experience so far. So I wanted to drop by this evening and welcome you to week 4 and week 5, and then we're done. I'm confident all of you are going to do very, very well, finish strongly. And, you know, my hope is that you will find this learning experience to be beneficial to you on a personal level. So welcome to week 4. The week 4 theme is Other Canonical Witnesses, taking the language from our Johnson textbook. Canonical refers to the canon of Scripture. Canon is just a word that means a rule, or, you know, it refers to a rule like a yardstick. And so the canon of Scripture are those books in the Bible that were officially accepted ultimately in the Old Testament by the Jewish, community, and in the New Testament by the church, accepted as official, as authoritative for everyone. And so there are, we've been able to look at Gospels, we've looked at the book of Acts, we've looked at Paul's writings. Other canonical witnesses then refer to what are sometimes called Catholic epistles or general epistles, probably not as well known as the writings of Paul. But, it includes the 2 letters from Peter, the book to the Hebrews, to James, the little book of Jude. And so it's going to be it adds an important element to our understanding of the New Testament in its context. So week 4 learning objectives, number 1, to acquire an understanding of the role of the general epistles in the New Testament canon and in Christian faith. Some of these books kind of early on folks felt that they were in some cases too Jewish. Like the book to Hebrews, obviously, or even James. And then later on, people came around and said, these are important authoritative books that have been written by first-generation apostles, and we need to understand what they're saying. So we want to be able to take time to do that for ourselves. And number 2, to creatively consider the controversies surrounding Hebrews and James and various ways to reconcile those controversies. Martin Luther, for instance, really had his doubts about James, referred to it as one strawy epistle. He, much preferred Galatians, but James is like the wisdom literature of the New Testament, and so it has some good practical stuff for us. And then number 3, to communicate clearly and effectively concerning the message of the general epistles and the contributions those messages might make to Christian faith and life. And that will introduce a great conversation for you to be able to engage in this coming week. The week 4 assignment, first of all, readings. I'm asking you to read in the textbook by Johnson chapters 20, 21, and 23. And remember, there is a reading assignment link for you to click and report your reading. And then in the New Testament to read the books of Hebrews, James, and 1 Peter. And that's also a graded assignment. Remember, I've posted some supplementary resources. Those are kind of just extra, for personal enjoyment, kind of additional resources. None of your assignments, either the written essay or the discussion, are based on those. They're just extra, but I'd like to put them up there for you as well. Then a couple of other very important assignments, of course. First of all, you have your reflection essay in week 4, and here's the prompt this week for the essay. The general epistles, or Catholic epistles, add important ideas about the Christian community. For example, think about the possibility of the book of Hebrews being addressed to Jewish believers in Jesus as the Messiah who were discouraged and considering going back to Orthodox Judaism, which would involve them, deciding I've changed my mind. I don't any longer believe that Jesus of Nazareth is the Jewish Messiah. So how would the letter to the Hebrews strengthen their commitment to Christian faith? Very, very interesting. A book is Hebrews, and I know you're going to enjoy reading it and thinking through its significance this week. And then, of course, you will engage in another very important discussion. Here is the prompt for the discussion this week. The letter written by James may be one of the most controversial writings in the New Testament. However, does James present the role, or how does James present the role of works in Christian faith, and why might that still be relevant today? So, James wants to say, yes, faith, but faith is an active thing. Faith involves steps. It's faith working through love, as Paul said in Galatians. And so some people kind of object to his emphasis on the practical outworking of faith, but it's still an important, and practical and relevant as it was when it was first written, a message to us. So an opportunity to dig a little bit deeper, to look at the background of these letters, but also to kind of put yourself in that original audience and hear for yourself the message that is being communicated in them. So the general epistles are just, another piece in our understanding of the New Testament writings. Very important, valuable for us. I know you will enjoy being able to just take your own look at them and to reflect on them and discuss them this coming week. Once again, I'm so very proud of the good work you're doing. It is an honor and a privilege for me to share this brief learning experience for you. As always, I'm here for you, committed to you as a student, committed to your learning in this class, to your success academically. So if there's any way that I can serve you this coming week, be sure to let me know. God bless you, everybody. Just have a great week 4.